Here is the review for the final test. The second part, we're going to start from example 16. For example 16, we have this graph and we need to write down the function for this graph. So the first thing, this like they're telling you here, this is the square root of x. So we already know the square root of x as a basic function is the graph for this function look like this. Now let's look to this point, the original point. First of all, the graph, I'm gonna write down the new function. I'm gonna say here is f of x or y, the same thing, equal. First of all, here is the basic function. And if you look to the graph, it's reflect over the x-axis because the new graph look like this. If you reflect it over x-axis, it's going to be like this. So the graph reflect over x-axis. So if it's reflect over x-axis, I have to put negative sign outside the basic function. Then the new graph is going to be here. The new graph is shifted up 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is shifted up 5 units. So if it's shifted up, I'm gonna add 5 outside the basic function. If it shifted 5 units, this point is going to be here. This point is going to be here. And then the graph is moved or shifted to the right. How many units? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's also moved to the right 5 units. That's me. Inside, I'm gonna say to the right, I have to say minus 5. So this is our new function, and this one is similar to B. So this is the right option. That's it for example 16. For example 17, we have the basic function, and we have this function which is g equal negative absolute value of x minus 5. We need to write down the transformation for this one. The transformation for this function, first of all, if we have negative sign outside the basic function is reflect over x-axis. So that means I can't choose this option because it's reflect over y. I can't choose this one, reflect over y. So I have 3 options. I need to check which one is going to be the right one. Then here's the basic function. Minus 5, that means it's shifted down. So vertical shift 5 units down. We're not going to choose this one. And we're not going to choose this one. So reflect over x-axis and vertical shift 5 units downward. So this is the right one. Let's check the other option. This is up. So this is wrong. And reflect over x-axis horizontal shift 5 to, so this is wrong. So B is going to be the right option for this function. For example 18, we have f of x equal x plus 3 and g of x, x minus 3. They ask you to find f minus g to the x. So f minus g to the x equal f of x minus g of x. So it's going to be f of x, which is x plus 3, minus this minus with the formula. G of x is x minus 3. Now we're going to distribute this negative sign here. So the result x plus 3 minus x plus 3. X minus x is going to cancel. That's means 3 plus 3 is going to be 6. So for example 18, you're just going to choose B, which is number 6. Now we need to find, for example 19, we have f of x equal f of x equal x squared and g of x equal 7x minus 7. They ask you to find f times g. f times g to the x is going to be f of x times g of x. So it's going to be f of x, which is x squared, times g of x, which is 7x minus 7. Now we're going to distribute. So x squared times 7x is going to be 7x cubed minus x squared times 7, 7x squared. That's it. You can't simplify it anymore. So in this case, it's going to be also b, because 7x cubed minus 7x squared. So we're going to choose b. That's it for example 19. For example 20, we have f of x equal x squared and g of x equal 7x minus 3. We need to find f divided by g. So f divided by g to the x equal f of x divided by g of x, which is equal f of x is x squared divided by g of x is 7x minus 3. If you look to these two parts here, we can't simplify the x squared with the x. That means I can't simplify everything. So this one is going to be my solution. In this case, we're just going to choose x squared. So it's going to be c, x squared divided by 7x minus 3. And it says all real numbers except, and what's the domain? So to find the domain for this function, it's a rational. So we're going to take the bottom part, which is 7x minus 3, not equal to the 0. Solve this one. We're going to add 3. So it's going to be 7x not equal to the 3. Then divide by 7. So x is going to be not equal to the 3 over 7. That means the domain is going to be all x such that x not equal to the 3 over 7. That means I can choose all numbers except 3 over 7. So that's why I choose this one, because we have the same one, but it's telling you all numbers except 7 over 3. This one is going to be wrong. So that's, you have to choose this one. And the same thing, the first one is wrong because there is negative sign here. That's it for 20. For example, 21, evaluate the indicate function. F of x equal x squared plus 2, and g of x is x minus 4. We need to find f plus g to the 3, which is equal f to the 3 plus g to the 3. F to the 3, that means you're going to plug in the 3 in f function. So plug in the 3 here, which is equal 3 squared plus 2 plus g of 3, plug in the 3 in g function, which is a 3 minus 4. So here on this side is going to be 9 plus 2 plus, and the 3 minus 1 is going to be negative 1. That means 9 plus 2 is going to be 11 plus negative 1. And the result is going to be 10. That's it for this example. So you're just going to choose E. For example 21, we need to find the composite function. Sorry, 22. F composite with the G. So for 22, we have f of the x equal x cubed, and g of the x equal x minus 2. We need to find f composite with the g to the x, which is equal f is outside, g of x inside. That means this one is equal. F outside, g of x, which is x minus 2. Don't need this parentheses. G of x, just the function here, which is x minus 2. Now I'm going to plug in x minus 2 in f function. So it's going to be x minus 2 cubed. That's it. This is f composite with the g, or the composition between f and g. So we're going to choose, in this case, B. For 23, you have more than one option to find the solution for this example. For 23, the first thing I'm going to do, they ask you to graph it, or select the right graph and with the vertex, and identify the vertex and the axis of the symmetry. So check what I'm going to do. I'm going to say f of x equal, here's my vertex formula. If you remember that, a x minus h squared plus k. For the function I have f of x equal negative x squared plus 3. I'm going to write down the variable first, then the number by itself. Then, in this case, I already know the basic function for this one is the x squared. So my basic function, or the parent function, is x squared, and the graph for this function look like this. But if there is negative sign, the graph is going to be reflect over x-axis, so the new graph is going to be like this. And plus 3 is going to be shift up 3 units. So the new graph is going to be 1, 2, 3, is going to be 3 units up, is going to be like this. So that's mean here's our graph, because we have 4 options. This is the right one because it's shifted up the 3 units. And if you look to the other options, you're not going to see a graph shifted up 3 units. So this is the right one. In this case, to find the vertex, which is the highest point of the minimum, or the lowest point of the minimum point. So in this case, our vertex is going to be this point, which is the coordinate x is 0 and y is 3. So the vertex x is, or h is 0 and k is 3. The axis of the symmetry, we already know the axis is x equal h, which is mean x equal 0. So in this case, if you look to the first option, they're telling you the vector is 0, 3, and the axis of symmetry is the y-axis. Y-axis, that's mean x equals 0. So be careful with this one. Y-axis, it's mean x equals 0. They're telling you it's the y-axis, that's mean x is 0. So still, this is the right option. For example 24, find two positive real numbers whose product is maximum. The sum is 140. So for 24, the product is max. So we're gonna say, first of all, the sum is 140. 140. And the product is max. So f of x, I'm gonna say xy. That means the two numbers is xy. The sum is x plus y equal 140. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna solve it for the x. So minus x from both sides. That means y is going to be equal 140 minus x. The product is the sum. That means f of x equal y equal 140 minus x. So here is x and here is y, which is 140 minus x. That means f of x is going to be equal 140x minus x squared. So in this case, we're just going to find the vertex. The maximum is mean the vertex. Max equal the vertex. So if we need to find the vertex, this is the A, be careful, and here is the B. That means H is going to be equal negative B over 2A, which is equal negative B is 140 divided by 2, and A is negative 1. So it's going to be negative 140 divided by negative 2 and equal 7. Now plug in 7 in our function to find the K. So K equal F to the 70, which is equal 140 times 70 minus 70 squared. And the result is going to be 70. Let's check that. So 140 times 70 minus 70 squared. It's going to be, this is the max, which is going to be 4900. That's mean x equals 70 and y equal 70. So this is the maximum, which is going to be 4,900. That's mean we're going to choose the option C. So this is the first number. If you plug in here, that's mean 70 plus 70 is going to be 140. So that's it for 24. For 25, they ask you for 25. Here's the cost function is 800 minus 80x plus 0.25x squared. We need to find how many fixtures should be produced to minimize the cost. So our cost function C equal 800 minus 80x plus 0.25x squared. Be careful, here is the same thing, 0.25x squared minus 8x plus 800. To minimize the cost, just go ahead, find the vertex. So this is A, this is B, and here is C. So our H is going to be negative B divided by 2A, which is going to be negative 8 divided by 2 times 0.25. Sorry, it's not 8, it's 80. So negative 80 divided by 0.25, negative 80. And then it's going to be 0 divided by half, which is going to be 160, because 2 times 0.25 is going to be half. That means it's going to be 80 divided by 1/2, which is going to be equal 160. In this case, we're going to choose 160. So option A is the right one. For 26, let's check how we're going to find the solution for 26. We have the graph and we need to write down the function, the standard form of this graph. So 26, let's see how we're going to find this one. The first thing what I'm going to do, I'm going to locate the vertex point here. The vertex point here is h is -2 and k is -3. So here is the vertex, which is equal -2 and -3. So this is the vertex. Now, the other thing I need to locate the y-intercept, which is 0, -1. Zero, -1. Let's write down the vertex formula, which is f of x equal a x minus h squared plus k. Now the vertex, we have h and k, and we have x, y. This is x, y. Let's plug in everything here. F of x, which is the y, that's mean -1 equal a, x is 0 minus h is -2, everything squared, plus k is -3. So here is -1 equal a, 0 plus 2, so it's going to be 2 squared minus 4. Sorry, minus 3. That's mean -1 equal a, and this is 4 minus 3. You're going to add 3 to the both sides. This is cancel. That mean is going to be 2 equal a times 4. Divide both sides by 4. Careful here. So a is going to be equal half. Now our function in the standard form is going to be f of x equal a x minus h squared plus k. That's mean f of x or y, it doesn't matter, equal a is half x minus h, which is -2, so it will be +2 squared minus k plus k, but it's -3, so it will be -3. So here's our function, which is exactly like D. So we're going to choose D. We're going to do the same thing with example 27. We need to write down the function in the standard form, and our function is f of x equal -x squared plus 8x minus 8. So this is A, and here's B, and here's C. So we're gonna find the vertex. That's mean h equal -b, which is 8, 2 times -a, which is -1, 2 times a, which is -1, equal -8, divided by -2, and this one equal 4. K is going to be equal, you have to plug in h, which is f to the h. So it's going to be f to the 4 and equal. So it's going to be -4 squared plus 8 times 4 minus 8. Let's check how much is going to be here. So it's going to be negative parentheses 4 squared plus 8 times 4 minus 8. So the result is going to be 8. That's mean I'm going to use the vertex formula. F of x equal a x minus h squared plus k. That's mean f of x is going to be equal a, which is the same thing here, -1, x minus h is 4 squared plus k, which is 8. K is 8. So let's check which one is going to be the right option. So negative, the last one, E, is going to be the right option. Negative squared plus, yes. So E is going to be the right option. That's it for 27. I choose this one. So for 28, we need to find the difference quotient and simplify the answer. So here is the difference quotient. This is the rule for the difference quotient, and this is our function. So here is our function f of x equal 5x minus x squared. That's mean f to the 6 plus h is going to be 5. And instead of x is going to be 6 plus h minus 6 plus h squared. Let's simplify this one. So it's going to be 5 times 6, which is 30. So this one equal plus 5 times h, so 5h minus, I'm gonna simplify this one, so which is 6 plus h times 6 plus h. So it's gonna be 36 plus 6h plus 6h plus h squared. Then combine the like terms and distribute the negative sign. So it's going to be 30 plus 5h minus 36 minus 12h minus h squared. Combine the like terms because we can combine this one with this one, 12 with the 5. So it's going to be 30 minus 7h. No, wait, let's combine the 30 with, so it's going to be negative 6. Minus 7h minus h squared. So this is f6 plus h. Now to use the rule says f6 plus h minus f to the h, or f to the 6 over h. This one equal f6 plus h, we already have it here. So it's going to be negative 6 minus 7h minus h squared minus f to the 6. That means you're going to plug in 6 here. So it's going to be 5 times 6 minus 6 squared. And everything is divided by h. And then it's going to be, let's simplify it more. So it's going to be negative 6 minus 7h minus h squared minus 30 plus 36. Divided by h. So negative 6, negative 30 is going to be negative 36 plus 36. So this one with this one cancel with this one. So the left is negative 7h minus h squared. Divided by h. Let's factor out the h. The left is negative 7 minus h divided by h. And cancel the h here and here. The result is going to be negative 7 minus h. That's it. So now we're going to choose. This is D is going to be the right option, negative h minus 7 or negative 7 minus h. So this is the right solution. For 29, we need to find the average rate of change of the function x1 equal 1 and x2 equal 5, and we have f of x. So 29, we have f of x equal x squared plus 18x minus 4. So when x1 equal 1, alpha fill x1, which is alpha fill 1, let's say, to find the y1 is going to be 1 squared plus 18 times 1 minus 4. So it's going to be 1 squared plus 18 is going to be 19 minus 4 is going to be 15. Now x2 is going to be equal 5. That's mean f to the x2, which is the 5, is going to be 5 squared plus 18 times 5 minus 4. That's going to be 1, 1, 1. So this one is y1 and this one is y2. So the average rate of change y2, y1 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this one is going to be 1, 1, 1 minus 15 over 5 minus 1. And it's going to be 96 over 4. And this one is equal 24. So the average rate of change is going to be at 24. So we're going to choose A. For 30, find the inverse of g of x equal x to the power 8 minus 5. So for 30, we have g of x equal x to the power 8 minus 5. Yes. So the first thing we're going to need to find the inverse. So this is y equal x to the power 8 minus 5. I'm going to solve it for x. Keep the x by itself on this side and move everything to the other side. So it's going to be x to the power 8. Let's add 5. So we're going to add 5 to the both sides because I need to solve it for x. Cancel here. So it will be y plus 5 is going to be equal x to the power 8. Then take the 8th root for both sides. So cancel here. So x is going to be equal the 8th root of y plus 5. Now bring back, change the x to y. That means y is going to be equal and change y to x. The 8th root of x plus 5. In this case, y equal, which is the inverse function, the 8th root of x plus 5. That means g inverse of x is going to be equal the 8th root of x plus 5. In this case, we're going to choose D. That's it for example 30.